We got more videos of this boy for the show today.
Nico, you don't tell me.
Let me play, Kathy.
Who do you think you're talking to?
You're the one who's making me even more mad for sake. Leave me alone.
Nico.
Leave me the alone. I'm already pissed off enough,
Why?
Kathy. Leave me the alone.
Nico, what is going on?
I don't want to talk about it.
What is going on that's making you like this?
Why do you please leave me alone?
Who does she think she's talking to? This is a child, right?
Who's calling for Kathy? Yeah.
Yeah, we've got the tail wagging the dog here. You know, these people are living this so much that it starts to seem normal. This isn't normal.
Did you show them the text? Yeah, they got impatient even on the plane. They missed their first flight.
Now the delay is 4:30. If it goes to 5, we're not coming. Oh, so we're in charge of the airline schedules now? Why weren't they on the first flight?
Yeah.
They were afraid to wake up their son too early.
We'd been playing video games 17 hours the day before. He was tired.
Who do they think is going to hire this child? Seriously.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to call this kid's bluff and give them a wake-up call. Don't say a word to them. I'll handle it.
Perfect. Got it.
Today on an all-new Dr. Phil, a son's video game addiction
Leave me alone.
crosses the line.
Who do you think you're talking to? He gets what he wants by bullying us and terrorizing this house.
Nico has threatened to kill us.
Taking back control.
You're not going to school, so you're basically just sleeping, eating, playing video games.
Yeah, I have tried everything.
You're negotiating with your child to take a shower.
Well, I was kind of bargaining.
You're enabling the behavior. Today's going to be a changing day in your life. You've never had anybody working harder to bring you to the threshold of change than right now. Well, as you saw, I was just in my office talking to my team about this show. We've got parents who let a 14-year-old basically drop out of school so he has time to play video games 17 hours a day. Video games. Now, his mom even has to negotiate with him to take a shower. Now, mom blames dad, and dad blames the child. Take a look.
My 14-year-old son, Nico, is absolutely addicted to his video games.
Let me get the Shrika 69. Let me get the Shriek. No.
He'll be on this device for 17 hours a day sometimes. I try to get Nico off video games, tell him that he's limited. He can only have 5 hours a day, and his answer is, oh, that's not going to happen. And it's a fight. I asked you hours ago to clean up that mess. What's going on?
Now!
Nico is the most spoiled child.
Nico!
Get out!
Stop it!
Get out!
Get off.
Right the now!
Nico can get so angry, he will destroy everything in the house, anything in his path, anything that Nico can get his hands on will get destroyed.
What is my computer? He gets what he wants by bullying us and terrorizing this house. He'll pull his hair. Stop it, Nico. He'll start screaming if he's not on his devices.
Nico, your mouth!
I take him off the internet, and he immediately starts throwing things and breaking things, and it's cost us thousands of dollars replacing everything that he's broken. He'll bang his controller. If I don't give him what he wants, I'm gonna break this phone. Nico is not in school right now. He wants to be a YouTuber when he gets older, and he doesn't need school. I couldn't force Nico to get up and go. It was impossible. He's a very large child. I think Nico takes advantage of me more now because he knows that I'm disabled. I'm in a wheelchair, and there's not much I can do. He'll strike out and he'll hit me. Physically, I'm no match for him. He's a big kid, and I have one leg. There's not much I can do.
I feel our family is falling apart. We desperately need help to get everything back on track.
It's absolutely out of control, and I see it only getting worse.
I am about to break your nose like I did.
How did it get this way where we have a child running the house?
What do I do to stop it? I've taken things away. I've had my nose broken 3 times. I've taken him to doctors. I have tried everything.
Dad, what are you doing about this?
When he starts getting into a rage and getting violent, I go upstairs in my studio, my music room, to avoid it, because he winds up getting physical with me.
Well, Kathy says that she can't get Nico on a schedule and ends up acting like his maid. She also has a hard time getting him to do just what I call activities of daily living, things that just really are fundamental to just being a socialized human being. Take a look.
Nico begs and begs and begs to get what he wants.
Can I please just get 3.99 cents first?
No, I shouldn't even have to bribe you to take a shower. I shouldn't have to pay you. But if you take one, I will allow you to get something, but you're taking your shower first. That way I know if it's done.
Can I get calf now?
No. Stop banging.
It will get done.
God.
Nico, don't. It's very simple. Bang the phone again and I take it away from you. Take your shower.
Please. I can't.
Stop it, Nico.
Then just gonna let me.
Stop saying that, Nico.
No, I'm not gonna stop.
Stop saying that.
Whatever, Kathy.
There we go, calling me by my name. Keep it up with the disrespect, Nico, and you're gonna lose everything for the day. You're not getting anything until you do what you need to do, which is take a shower. I'll think about the 3.99 cents, but I'm not waiting until 4:30.
All right.
So in the end, I allowed him to get the small things that he wanted, and he's going to take a shower in 2 hours. It's now 3:45, and you promised me at 2:30 you would take a shower?
I forgot.
Well, I'm reminding you. Take a shower, and
Mom,
then you can
I'm
get
in
back
the middle
on.
of something. I can't right now. Please.
See, this is what happens every time. My thought process on that is...
Wait a second. Do you really want to spend time defending that? Because we
No,
only
I
have
wanted
so
to
much
explain
time.
it. I just wanted to explain.
There
I'm
is
not
no
defending
explanation.
it.
I can save you some time. There is no explanation. You're negotiating with your child to take a shower.
Well, I was kind of bargaining, I consider it.
Do you understand you're enabling the behavior?
Absolutely.
You understand you're enabling the behavior?
Yes.
What time do you get home every day?
Around 6 o'clock.
And when do you go to bed?
8, because I'm exhausted by the end of the day.
So you're engaged an hour or two.
Right.
And you have it the other 22.
More, I don't sleep. I don't sleep. I'm an insomniac. If I
Well,
get...
do the math. I said you have it the other 22.
20, yeah.
Are you oppositional as
Sometime-
well? Do you argue with everything?
Yes, I do. I've been in the legal field for 38 years. I'm sorry.
Yeah, me too.
I'm
and I
sorry,
can
I
win,
know.
so just don't bother.
I'm not trying to argue, Dr. Phil. I'm not. Please.
Yeah. So we have to take a break. Coming up, Evo says he's a big sucker when it comes to his son and buys back devices that he's confiscated or smashed. We'll talk about that when we come back.
Get off me! Get off me! I have slapped Nico in the mouth, in the face, for cursing at me. I've broken 2, 3 pairs of glasses.
The two of them are 2 peas in a pod.
And later, if we could unscrew the top of your head and look down inside while all that's going on, it would scare the hell out of us, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Tomorrow.
I am my mother's sole caretaker.
Cheyenne cooks, cleans, changes her sheets, does her laundry.
But is Mom
Here she is on the couch, cane in place, covered up in a blanket, and you're waiting on her.
as sick as she says she is?
You're the one that said you hadn't been diagnosed officially. Let's just get to the point, okay? You're getting conned.
That's tomorrow. Then on Wednesday, they claim their mom is a pill-popping alcoholic.
Here's what they're complaining about. You mow the yard while you're foaming at the mouth. You strip naked at a 7th birthday party.
This is disgusting.
New Dr. Phil, Wednesday.
Nico has actually threatened to kill us.
This is one of my butcher knives, and not too long ago, Nico, in one of his rages, ran into the kitchen, grabbed this knife, and held it up to himself and threatened to kill himself. Thankfully, Ivo was able to get the knife away from him without causing any harm to himself. Because of Nico's threats, I no longer keep the knives up there. I have to keep them in this lockbox. So I put them all inside the lockbox. This is what I do every time I need to cook something. Lock it up, and then this comes in my room with me, so I can always keep an eye on it, and he can never get to them.
Okay, Kathy and her husband Ivo say their 14-year-old son Nico learned his behavior from what's going on inside their home and not from playing violent video games 17 hours a day. Take a look at what they had to say.
Get out
Get off.
right the now!
Nico's behavior is absolutely learned behavior.
Leave me alone!
Ivo has shown him how to do this by the way he acts.
Give me my baby!
Get off me.
When Ivo's angry at me, he'll get very disrespectful. The two of them are two peas in a pod.
I have slapped Nico in the mouth, in the face, for cursing at me.
Ivo, show what a maniac you are.
I slapped him and accidentally hit the glasses and broke them. I've broken 2, 3 pairs of them. So we had to go buy new ones. I'm very ashamed of it.
The same tone of voice that Nico uses, Ivo has used on me.
Are you a dumbass or something?
I want to give you an analogy here. There's something in the world of psychology called the prison experiment. And it was done by Dr. Zimbardo. And in this prison study, Dr. Zimbardo just took a group of students and just randomly said, okay, you guys are going to be guards and you guys are going to be prisoners. They just went down to the basement of the psychology building and they said, okay, this is going to be the prison and these rooms are going to be the cells and you're going to run it just like a prison. And within a matter of a half a day, they had to suspend the experiment because the guards became so brutal and so abusive that it was getting out of control. And the prisoners became so immersed in the prison role, and it became a famous experiment that's never been able to be repeated in 50 years because it became so real so fast.
Wow.
They were isolated, like on an island down there, just like you guys are in your home.
At home.
So, you know, I'm looking at this, and I say, well, all right, let's see where this child's living. He's living in a prison experiment. You have self-esteem so low.
Don't have any.
It can't get any lower. You can't fall off the floor.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just so down about yourself, and then you've got two men in your life that remind you of it every day. They tell you how worthless you are, how unimpactful you are, how disrespectful they can be to you.
Whoa. I never tell her she's worthless. She's not.
Uh-oh, you're in trouble now.
She's recording you! Dad, you better not hit me! She's recording you!
Okay, keep running your mouth. Go ahead.
She's recording you!
I don't
You'll
care.
get arrested!
Run your mouth.
Get out!
Leave him alone.
And later, at what point did you give yourself permission to speak to your parents in a disrespectful way? Well, there had to be some point at which you said it's okay to scream bombs at my mother or father or tell my father, I'm going to stab you tonight. You were telling me how you don't tell her she's worthless.
I never say worthless.
Fat bitch, but not worthless.
I speak before I think. That's my problem.
We didn't ask what the order was. You were saying, I don't demean her. I don't tell her she's worthless. But you do call her a fat bitch.
When I get mad, I don't think, and it just comes out.
Would that be a yes?
Yes.
Okay. But you want to play semantics with me that you don't tell her she's worthless. You just tell her she's a fat bitch. You're drawing a line of distinction there. Are we playing word games here, or you
No,
really think that's different?
Absolutely not. Like I told you, I speak before I think. Do I regret it afterwards? Absolutely. Do I mean it? Absolutely not.
It's kind of like if you back out of the driveway and run over my foot, the fact that you didn't mean it, my foot feels the same.
Right.
And then if you do it again tomorrow, my foot feels even worse. And then if you do it again the next day and the next day and the next day, then two things happen. Number one, my foot's feeling really bad.
Right.
And two, I'm beginning to wonder if this is really an accident. Take a look at how Evo reacts to being taunted by Nico.
Get away from me! Get away! She's recording you. Dad, you better not hit me. She's recording you.
I don't care. Okay, keep running your mouth.
Want me to?
Go ahead.
She's recording you.
I don't
You'll
care.
get arrested.
Run your mouth. Run it. Run it.
Get out! Get out. Stab you.
Leave him alone. Get out of the room.
Stab you tonight!
Get out of the room.
Out of this house.
No!
Call the state police.
Get out of the room.
I want him out.
Get out
Shut
of the
up,
room.
Evo!
You. I want you dead by the time I get home.
Hey, Evo, show what a maniac you are.
Oh, my stomach. It's my stomach.
Show what a maniac you are.
Yeah. Try me after you get on camera.
I'm gonna try you?
You know what? Yeah.
Give me this. You hold on to that.
Got my other one. Dumbass. What do you do on camera? Huh?
All this is
Give
gone.
me my backpack! Give
All
me
of this is
my
gone.
backpack!
Get off of me. Get off me.
Ow!
Get off of me.
I still got my hand!
Don't you slap anything out of my hand.
You know what? Both of you. I'm leaving. I'm so ashamed by seeing this.
I can't imagine why this kid's spinning out of control. And, you know, if we could unscrew the top of your head and look down inside while all that's going on, it would scare the hell out of us, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm one of those people that looks past anger and rage, and behind it is hurt, fear, and frustration. What I'm seeing there is a lot of pain. You're expressing it in anger, because angry people have the attitude to get them before they get me. But anger's nothing more than an outward manifestation of hurt, fear, and frustration. And I think you're experiencing all three. What are you so angry about?
I was raised, I saw a lot of violence when I was young. I've seen people getting hands crushed in vices for stealing.
Who crushed whose hand in vices?
Somebody robbed from my father. My father did it.
And how old were you?
Probably about Nico's age, 13, 14. I've seen a lot of violence, stuff I should not have seen.
Yeah, it's interesting what people grow up with. And it leaves a mark, does it not?
I am physically, emotionally scarred horribly. And seeing this is killing me.
Do you think I know what I'm doing?
Absolutely. This is an eye-opener for us, for our family.
Well, speaking of family, we're going to meet the 14-year-old teen who is controlling this house and hear what he has to say next.
I feel like I'm addicted to video games. I broke this controller by throwing it across the room because I was angry. When my dad gets angry, he tends to throw some of my stuff and hit me.
Get out. Stab you.
Leave him alone. Get out of the room.
Stab you tonight!
It hurts a lot and it bothers me.
I have an anger problem. I lose my temper, kind of like black out. I pass out probably in the beginning. get so enraged. Get off me! Get off me! I guess my body can't handle it anymore, and then I hit the floor.
Evo.
It could range. I've been out 30 minutes for 45 minutes.
Are you okay?
I have no memory of what happens when I pass out. I don't even remember hitting the floor. Kathy has told me that when I was passed out on the floor, Nico would say to her, he's on the floor again, without a care in the world.
Now, Kathy and her husband, Evo, are both perplexed about why Evo's passing out. Kathy says their teenage son, Nico, also doesn't remember how severely his rages are afterwards.
Yes, I feel like I'm addicted to video games.
On a typical day of my life, I wake up around 9 or 10, so I eat, go on my devices, talk to my friends. I stay in here playing games and stuff about 13 or 14 hours every day. I don't really exercise. I don't hang out with friends outside or anything. I don't play sports. I mainly play video games till I go to bed, and my bedtime is like 11 o'clock at night. I don't want to go to school because it's just boring.
Why? Don't raise your hand at me. Don't raise your hand to me.
Then get the
Don't
out.
throw anything at my face.
My fits of rage,
No.
they just keep like pushing me as in saying, get off, Nico, take a break, blah, blah, blah.
If you don't leave me alone, I swear to God.
They keep bugging me, I would blow up.
I don't want it!
I need to know.
I'm a second away from throwing this right at your face.
I broke this controller by throwing it across the room because I was angry. The main thing I get mad with my mom about is not letting me stay on my devices. My relationship with my dad, it's not too well. We fight about me not getting on my devices.
Okay, keep running your mouth. Go ahead.
She's recording.
I don't
You'll
care.
get arrested.
Run your mouth.
Because sometimes he explodes and hit me on the head and stuff. When my dad gets angry, he tends to throw some of my stuff and hit me.
Get out. Stab you.
Leave him alone. Get out of the room.
Stab you tonight!
It hurts a lot and it bothers me. He hits me on my face. Sometimes he breaks my glasses because he slaps them off my head.
You and start hitting back.
Give me my
Get off me. Get off me.
I plan to get a job when I'm older. I don't know what I would do, to be honest. I'm excited to meet Dr. Phil. I would ask him how I can change my anger.
What do you think makes you as angry as you get?
I honestly don't know.
When you're screaming at her and yelling at moms and threatening to smash her in the face with your controller, how do you feel afterwards?
Feel really bad about it.
This is Nico's gaming anger. Let's take a look at this.
Nico, you don't tell me.
Let me play, Kathy.
Who do you think you're talking
You're the
to?
one who's making me even more mad for sake. Leave me alone.
Nico.
Leave me the alone. I'm already pissed off enough.
Why?
Kathy. Leave me the alone.
Nico, what is going on?
I don't want to talk about it.
What is going on that's making you like this?
Right in your face. Leave me alone.
At what point did you give yourself permission to speak to your parents in a disrespectful way?
I don't even remember. It's...
Well, there had to be some point at which
Yeah.
you said it's okay to scream bombs at my mother or father or tell my father, I'm going to stab you tonight.
I don't even remember how long it was that I started that.
Mm-hmm. How you doing in school?
Somewhat good.
He's supposed to have in-home instruction, which a teacher comes to the house 3 hours a day for 3 days a week, and that has become too much for him to do.
You've sent her away because he was asleep instead of waking him up.
No, we tried to wake him up. I get hit if I go near him and try to wake him up.
You've written into me 5 times.
Yes.
And when I read the letters, you said, we are desperate. But then when we answered and said, okay, I agree, it's desperate, So we're going to come here. You missed your first flight because you didn't want to wake him up.
No, we missed our first flight because I was going through security and they didn't have a female officer to come and pat me down because I can't walk through the metal detectors.
Well, I'll talk to our driver because our driver said you wanted to leave a half an hour later because you didn't want to wake up Nico.
No, I never
Because you're
said.
afraid you were going to get hit, I guess. And then I got a text message shown to me from the tarmac saying you've been sitting there and it's 4:30, and if it goes another half hour, that you're just not coming.
We were just tired. We were frustrated.
When I found that out, I was like, turn them around. Hell, send them home. If they don't want to be here, they don't want to be here. I don't run the airlines.
No, I know that, but...
But what?
We got up at 3:30 that morning. We didn't get the first flight because what I explained. Then we sat around for 4 hours on standby. When we got to standby, they said, sorry, there are no seats. You got to wait another 4 hours.
There were seats, by the way. They just weren't together.
Yes, I couldn't leave Nico alone.
Can't leave him alone.
He could not sit alone. You see his behavior. He would have hit someone.
You can't ride on an airliner by yourself?
I told them I could, but they didn't believe me.
I know he couldn't.
We're just overprotective with him because, God forbid, he starts up on a plane and then you get one of the marshals that are on that plane and arresting him, the both of us are going because I'm going to stand up for my son. You don't touch my son. This is how I am, Dr. Phil. This is how...
Well, you choose the behavior, you choose the consequences.
Right.
Coming up, Kathy says Nico has charged over $4,000 on her credit card for gaming tokens and faces zero consequences. I'm wondering why. We'll talk about that when we come back. I'm from Texas, and there's a checkout time of 18. How are you going to get by when you're out there and you don't have any skill set? You don't have a high school diploma?
I fight with this in my head every day, worrying about him later on in life. It kills me.
I don't want it!
When Nico gets really angry at me, instead of him calling me Mom, he'll say, all right, Kathy, enough, Kathy.
Let me play, Kathy!
Because he's trying to exert his power over me, like calling me by my first name. What's going on?
I swear to
He seems to think that he's going to get what he wants by bullying me that way. I think it's very disrespectful.
I swear to God, Kathy.
What would have to happen for there to be peace in your house, from your standpoint?
I don't know, just probably just letting me play my video games whenever I want.
So you wouldn't be expected to do any chores, you wouldn't be expected to go to school and get an education. You just want to be rolled up in a blanket playing a video game.
No, not just playing, but I would do school and stuff.
Well, you're not doing that.
Thank you.
You're not doing that, though, right?
No, not often, but
So why would you start doing it all of a sudden?
I don't know.
So at this point, you're not going to school, so you're basically just playing your video games, sleeping, eating, playing video games, sleeping, eating, playing video games. Okay, so I'm from Texas, and there's a checkout time of 18. You know, when you turn 18, you just check out, on your own. How are you going to get by when you're out there and you don't have any skill set?
I don't know.
You don't have a high school diploma. You don't have any particular skills. How are you going to pay your bills and live?
I don't know.
Do you think you might want to think about that?
Yeah.
Dr. Phil, I fight with this in my head every day, worrying about him later on in life. It kills me. Because right now, the way he's going, he's not going to be able to do it.
Yeah. Because y'all have a parental duty. I mean, you have a parental duty, and your parental duty is very clear. It's to prepare a child for the next level of life and to live independently. That's what parents' job is. And And so if the next level of life is to live independently, which means they've got to make enough money to pay rent and utilities and food and all, and you're not doing that, then you're failing your duty as a parent.
I know that.
And it doesn't mean they have to like it. It just means that they have to do it. And you've got a terrible momentum going on here. I tell you what, we're going to have some adult conversation after the break here. So I'm going to let Nico, I'm sure it'll break his heart, but we're going to let him go back where he was. Coming up, Kathy says she's a great parent because her older son is a model child. We're going to hear from him next and see what he thinks is going on with Nico as well. We'll be right back.
This is Nico's container of medicines that he's currently taking. He's got hydroxyzine, clonidine, Latuda, guanfacine, trazodone, and he takes melatonin as well to help him sleep at night, which doesn't work. Then we have yet to find one or any combination that actually works.
Well, Evo says his son Nico is treated like a guinea pig by doctors. Kathy says she hasn't been happy with any of the treatment her son has received locally. At this point, based on where he is, nothing that you've done, no combination of things that y'all have done have worked, right?
Right.
Because he's worse now than he was this time last year, right?
Oh, yeah.
And he's getting bigger. He's getting stronger. I'm getting older. I'm getting weaker, frailer. I can't tussle with this boy anymore.
Well, Kathy's older son, Tyler, says both his mom and stepfather, Evo, contribute to the dysfunction in this home, and he's joining us now via Polycom. So, Tyler, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
You've been listening to everything we've been talking about, right?
Yep.
So, I've said that I feel like they need to kind of hit the reset button on everything, forget what they think they know, forget what they think is causation, and be willing to consider a whole new set of circumstances here. But I'm curious what you think, and I'm not asking you to be a professional here, I'm just asking you based on your experience and having been around, what you think is going on here.
I think that there's just a lack of respect throughout the house entirely. Nobody really seems to have any sort of respect for each other.
So this is just dysfunction, wall to wall, 7 days a week, and this child's just in a quagmire of dysfunction. True?
True.
How do you get along with Nico?
We don't have the greatest relationship. Whenever I come to visit, we talk a bit. I don't really talk to him too often, like on the phone or anything, but I try to reach out to him when I can.
Mm-hmm. If this continues the way it is, with Evo's rage and anger and Nico's disrespect for both of them, and Kathy's really being beat down in the way that she is, where do you think this is headed?
I think that Nico's going to wind up having to be in some sort of home, I think. I don't think that they'll be able to keep taking care of him the way that things are going.
Yeah, well, I'm one of those that believes when you get into something that is this dysfunctional from this many angles, you have to do what I call shake it up to break it up. And that means you can't just go in and kind of cherry pick. You pull him out, he's the squeaky wheel. Right. But we can take him out and do A, B, C, and D, and then put him right back in the situation. It won't be 72 hours before all the triggers that were there start getting pulled again, and you're right back in the same situation that you are now. Right. But I do have a plan, and the plan is multi-sided and multi-layered. And I think you are going to be shocked at what I think needs to happen here. We'll be right back. This home is so dysfunctional at this point that this problem is over y'all's pay grade. I don't think all the best intentions in the world, I don't think either one of you or the two of you collectively can solve this problem on your own. I've asked a very good friend of mine that I have great respect for to be here in the audience today, and that's Shane Gallagher. Shane is the executive director of Wingate Wilderness Therapy. Shane, you guys can help him, true?
Oh, absolutely. You could say that Nico needs a device detox. So he will absolutely be detoxed, not just from, he won't have access to electronics, but the mind patterns are going to be changed because he's going to be in a natural environment. So circadian rhythms, all of these things that a growing boy actually needs, he's just going to get in a very natural way.
Look, this is up to you. And if you've got questions, then you can ask them. But my plan is this. He goes there from here today. I don't have a bit of problem telling him this, but he needs to hear you two, shoulder to shoulder, make a responsible parenting decision and tell him, we've made a decision as your parents, and this is where you're going. That's the first thing that needs to happen. Second thing that needs to happen, I'm going to highly recommend that you fly into Dallas, Texas, and go to the P&P Center. I've talked to Dr. Frank Lawless, and we need to do a serious neurological workup on you and find out why you're having these episodes. It's not normal for you to just be losing consciousness.
Right.
We need to get a baseline and find out what's going on with you. And this is the premier diagnostic center in the country, in my opinion. With you, I highly recommend that you allow yourself to go to a trauma-based center called Onsite, just outside of Nashville, Tennessee. Now, Onsite is the worldwide leader in intensive workshops and treatment specializing in those that have been through emotional trauma. And I think it'll be the greatest gift you ever give yourself in your entire life. And because if we do this with Nico and we don't do what we need to do with the two of you, there's no point in doing anything with him. We have to change this family across the board. So I am bringing heavy resources on all three fronts to realign this family.
I have one concern financially, keeping my house. If I'm there, I'm the only one who works. I support the house.
But if I were you, I would live in a box under a bridge before I would go back to what I was doing.
I know. We have to do this. We have no choice.
Okay, do we have a plan?
Yes.
Yes. I want to thank all of my guests today, and a special thanks to Shane Gallagher from Wingate Wilderness Therapy. A special thanks to Miles Adcox and Onsite for offering their help, and special thanks to Dr. Frank Lawless and the P&P Center. For more information about today's show, log on to drphil.com. One of my Facebook followers had a very relevant question to me. Tammy asked if an 8-year-old should have a cell phone. You can see from today's show, adding devices to young lives is not always the best idea. But there's a point at which you have to balance out safety versus them getting over-involved. At some point, it gives you the ability for them to reach out to you at any time and for you to reach them at any time. 8, little too early. Stay social. Keep asking me questions on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You never know. I just might answer yours next. We'll see you next time.
Doing this for 2 years. When he gets either enraged or stressed, he goes unconscious. Can you hear me, Evo? Can you talk? Evo? Dr. Phil has given us an amazing gift we could never hope to achieve. You're going to be going to this facility where you're going to have an amazing time. You just don't know it yet. You're going to be out in nature.
Wait, so I'm going away?
You're going to go with these people to this facility. You're going to get off your devices and stop relying on them and start enjoying life again. I love you, baby. Oh, come closer. I love you so much. You know that, right? And I'm going to talk to you soon.
Are we going now?
Yeah. I love you, buddy. Don't ever forget that.
Bye, buddy.